you really believe that Black Lives Matter, recognize that even before COVID, the average Black Boston rider was riding an additional 64 hours a year, riding longer, waiting longer, transferring longer. What did that mean? That they were delayed in getting to a healthcare appointment, to getting to their job, to getting to school, to visit a shut-in loved one. This is a racial justice issue. So if you really believe that Black Lives Matter, if you care about those communities that have been, all communities, but those disproportionately impacted by this pandemic because of the comorbidities of structural racism, this is one of the most unequal districts in the country, and that is not naturally occurring. That is because of a lack of political will and courage. It is because of legislated hurt and harm. It is because of divestment. It is because of underinvestment. It is because of short-sighted, draconian, discriminatory policies. Transit justice is a racial justice issue. The Massachusetts 7, in a 3-mile radius from Cambridge to Roxbury, life expectancy drops by 30 years and median household income by $50,000. A lack of access to affordable, rapid, reliable transit has contributed, it created that. This is not naturally occurring. So transit justice is a racial justice issue. It is also a workers' rights and economic justice issue. I want to say to our essential workers, we do not only honor and celebrate your labor. Yes, your work is essential, but so the hell are your lives. Your lives are essential. Your families are essential. I am so proud of all of you. It is at times depleting that we have to keep coming together to lift every voice, to say, see our humanity, treat us with dignity. But I am inspired and I am emboldened that you keep coming together to do exactly that. Because you know that our freedoms are tied, that we are one human family. So transit justice is a racial justice issue. It is a workers' rights issue. It is an economic justice issue. It is a healthcare justice issue. It is a climate justice issue. This is a matter of justice that is worth fighting for. You are worth fighting for. We are experiencing unprecedented hurt. You have met that with unprecedented community, and what we deserve is unprecedented leadership and unprecedented investment, not divestment, not the disenfranchising of your families and your neighbors. This is unconscionable. It is unjust. And we know that when services are cut, they are rarely, if ever, restored. Come on. How long did it take Chinatown to get its library back? Come on. Communities who lost lines never got them back. Including this one. That cannot stand. So I am here in solidarity. Councilor Buck was mentioning that I've created this Future of Transportation Caucus, which centers equity, accessibility, sustainability, and connectivity. Those are the types of federal investments we need to make. Senator Markey and I have introduced the Freedom to Move Act, which will incentivize states and municipalities to close transit gaps. But I'm here in solidarity with all of you, with all of my dedicated, impassioned, and eloquent colleagues, and just know that we got your back. And this will not stand, because this is a matter of justice, and you are worth fighting for.
hours after the announcement of these disastrous cuts, we are now in a public comment period. We need everybody to be entering those public comments. That means you as an individual, you as a worker. It also means, that if you're part of an organization, that's why it's so important. The VA hospital is going to be communicating with the state about this. We've got Cheryl House, like we said, we've got all these institutions, and I'm so grateful today for everybody who came out. We can give one more round of applause for my colleague, Councilor O'Malley, for my colleague, Councilor Wu, for Representative Algordo, who we all wish well, for Senator Chang Diaz, and of course for Congresswoman Presley, for the Chief of Streets, Chris Hosgood, on behalf of the Mayor. We're here, we're grateful to Coleman for coming and representing the veterans. We're here on Veterans Land today. We're grateful to Jimmy for coming for the Carmen. We're here on MBTA land today. And really grateful to Jean-Luc for coming and representing the North American Indian community, because we're here on their land today too. So there was a clipboard going around. If you haven't signed up, follow the social media. We need everybody to be involved in this. And you know what? If we have to organize and be in person again and again, we will do it. But this community cannot afford the loss of this line. This whole region cannot afford these cuts. We can't afford the cut to the Mission Link, and we can't afford the cut that's going to send our, commuter rail brethren driving into our city instead of taking the T and making our health worse. So this is a 360-degree problem, and we're going to need everybody together to fight it. So thank you for being here today.
All right. How's it going there?
This was printed by the ATU a decade ago.
I was going to ask you how long you had that shirt. How long do you have that?
I've had this for almost a decade.
A decade?
And it was printed by the same union that sponsored this meeting today.
Okay. Nice.
We're the Amalgamated Transit Union.
Thank you. And what's your name?
So we've been here before.
Oh, okay, same road.
Yeah, same problem.
Same problem again. I remember
this
when
is essential to dense populations, is that not everybody can have a parking space.
Yeah, I remember when they cut the services going down Center Street. They used to have the trolley going all the way down to Center Street to Forest Hills.
Yes.
And they cut that service and they never restored it back again.
Let's hope that we have city, administration that is more supportive of transportation for masses.
We're going to call Charlie Baker's office and see what he got to say.
Because I'm tired of hearing horns every time a traffic light turns green, because the drivers are so neurotic and feel like they gotta, that they're responsible for the congestion. They are, but it's because the roads are moving more traffic than they can handle.
We got to build up our infrastructure. That's what we have to do.
Well, the infrastructure was built for horse cars.
It was built for the 1970s.
Well, for the 1880s.
Yeah, even further. Nice talking to you.
I just stumbled upon this, but what, exactly what?
It was a pretty good turnout. Ayanna Presley and all the other city council representatives were here. And the bottom line is we need to save the green line going to Heath Street.
There's one that says, what does it say? I'm going to know what I'm standing in front of.
We need the E.
We need the E.
We need the E to Heath.
Hi, good to see you. Long time, how you doing? Your family's okay? You're looking good.
Hey, stop being
Hey, John Jackson.
How you doing? Nice to see you.
Yeah, no, to you too. Giving us
Yes, sir. Oh, sorry about that.
I have a Costco membership.
Yeah, what are we looking at? Thank you so much. I'm Ricardo. I'm with
Ricardo, I'm here on Regal Radio. Nice to meet you. I'll give you a card.
Sure, let's give you mine. Didn't know you guys were interested in the scrum.
Oh, we have questions.
Thank you. You guys persecute or? Sure, thank you. You guys might just give me a second. Can I just get a sense of what's on the mind for you guys?
National politics.
Election?
Biden's victory, Trump hostage situation,
I'm
and
not
then
going
whatever
to
Karen
hostage
thinks.
situation. That's my personal cell phone number.
Okay, great.
So, thank you.
For my direct email, I was just asking them what.
Probably
Here
the
we
same
go.
thing. National politics, the Trump situation.
Oh, I just saw them. I'm sorry.
She said everything on the channel. I may ask her. I don't know if she wants to weigh in on the Martin election.
Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you guys watch YouTube a lot. Well, if you're watching this video, you're probably watching YouTube. The Resistance has a channel out here, and he's right here.
We're not just going to do that. We're going to rely on Representative Alagardo, Senator Chang Diaz, push these questions forward in the State House, lean on Representative Ayanna Pressley to take those questions to the federal government, because Mass DOT, MBTA, they receive federal financial assistance. And so when we are saying that we are in this intersection where we're affecting American Indian, and that is inclusive of black people who are American Indian as well, veterans, cancer patients, people who are fighting for their lives day to day, when we're having those impacted communities, is this cut in line with the federal financial assistance that Mass DOT gets? I don't think so. I think we need to push that issue. I think we need to keep on fighting for our community, because it's not just cutting this line. They're also thinking about employees at MBTA. Those people are going to lose their jobs. We're also going to have to stand up for the black, indigenous, people of color that are working for the MBTA, who are going to be on the chopping block come spring. So we're going to have to keep up the pressure. We're going to have to keep on fighting on all levels to make sure that our community members are protected.
Hey, I appreciate that. Hey, did we posted on the meetings? Where can I find them at virtual?
Probably you're talking about the MBTA meeting?
Yeah, everything that you guys are talking about is still going to keep leaning on as far until springtime.
So go to Mass DOT's website, because it's Secretary Pollock, who's the CEO, Secretary of Transportation, who's the CEO of MBTA. So you go to Mass DOT's website and look up the public information there. I'm pretty sure there could be some redirect to another MBTA website. But all of that is publicly available. And of course, I'm pretty sure that we're going to put a call out again, to actually have people be directed to submit their public testimony.
Okay. So are you guys actually appearing at the State House at this time to voice your concerns as well?
Well, this is we have just learned about these cuts in the last 48 hours.
Right.
However, North American Indian Center Boston, we're involved with the Massachusetts Indigenous Legislative Agenda. That is an agenda of about 5 bills. Right now we have 3 that are up in the legislature. Most specifically the one to change the seal and motto of the state, because we have a racist flag. We're behind Mississippi right now in terms of addressing that issue. But now that we are aware of these cuts, and we are aware of what we need to do, we're going to take this conversation. We actually had a conversation with Beacon Block last night, So we are talking with the State House right now.
And for a regular citizen like me, this brother right here, if we wanted to get involved, what would you say the best way to get involved as far as voicing our concerns with what's going on? What would be the best way? Like
it's getting in touch with the public comment, where they're actually collecting the public comments from Mass DOT. I'm not too sure. I don't have that off the top of my head. But I would go to Mass DOT's website. I would call up Mass DOT and say, where the hell do I need to send my testimony, because I need my voice to be heard. Call the MBTA offices, call Mass DOT, send the emails, send the letters. Make sure that all channels are flooded, regardless of any specific website or whatever. Their offices are publicly available. Their address is publicly available. Their email address is publicly available. Their phone numbers are publicly available. We just got to keep up the pressure.
Hey man, I appreciate that. I'm in Resistance.
Yes.
You can check me out on YouTube.
All right.
This is live right now. For the record, what's your name again?
My name is Jean-Luc Thirit. I am I'm originally from New Orleans, member of the Tunica Biloxi Tribe of Louisiana. I'm a resident here in Jamaica Plain, president at the North American Indian Center of Boston.
Okay, appreciate you.
All right, thank you. NACOB91 on social media, tag us.
Alexis Harewood said to say you hi.
What's
from
that?
the Ellie Mae Foundation.
Oh, Nellie Mae.
Ellie Mae, yep. She said to tell you hi.
Yeah. Well, I just got I'm on the community advisory group. So
okay.
Really good working with Alexis and Nellie Mae.
You're a good fan of them.
Oh yeah.
I relay this message back to them.
All right. Yeah.
All right,
let them know.
you.
Let them know.
All right.
Yeah.
The Resistance is in the house.
What's up, y'all?
If you guys watch YouTube, I'm pretty sure if you've seen this channel, you watch YouTube. This is the Resistance right here. This brother's all around.
That's raw. What's up, bro? How you been? I ain't seen you in a while.
I've been around, man. I've been busy.
I hear you.
I've been out there.
But you out here doing the important things.
There you go. We go get it. How you doing, man?
They often like to characterize themselves as patriots. Peaceful transition of power is one of the pillars of our democracy, the pillars of our institutions. And so it is predictable, it is not surprising, but there are three things that will never change. Donald Trump was impeached by this Democratic majority House. He has now been defeated by a coalition of voters, and he failed the American people. And all those failures were on the ballot, and that is exactly why he was evicted.
COVID and prisoners, might eating up everything? All right, COVID and prisoners, you're advocating for some prisoners to be released, right?
So what I've been advocating for is that in the same way that we recognized that our nursing homes and our veterans homes were going to be predisposed to the coronavirus thriving because they are congregate living. The same is true for our correctional facilities, for our county jails, and for our prisons. They are overcrowded because of mass incarceration. And so we predicted in March, that's when I started my cries with impacted families who were worried for their loved ones, with advocates, and some of my colleagues in the State House, to make sure that we were investing in testing behind the walls, access to PPE. But again, because of overcrowding, we now see surges happening in our county jails and in our prison system. And I don't think incarceration should be a death sentence. These prisons are petri dishes for the virus to thrive. They're not hospitals. And so we should be decarcerating, following the example of New Jersey. Those that are elderly, which is 10% of the population incarcerated, those with underlying conditions, most of whom are incarcerated at MCI Norfolk, those that are pregnant, and pre-trial detainees who have been convicted of no crime. but are incarcerated simply because they couldn't afford bail. So they should be released to home confinement or other alternatives, following the lead of states like New Jersey and I believe California, who have safely done this. Again, these are incarcerated men and women who pose no risk to society, whose families and children I represent. 1 in 4 children in the Massachusetts 7th has an incarcerated parent. So these are not nameless, faceless individuals. These are people that are members of families and members of communities. And it is a human rights issue, it is a public health issue, and it is also a racial justice issue.
Thank you.
Can I just ask before you go real quick? Kamala, I know one last. Kamala Harris. I mean, I don't think we've talked to you since she was elected. I mean, that's going to be a big deal. I mean, not just for the nation, but for you.
You know,
a little bit, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I mean, what a day, right? What a time. Against the backdrop of a national reckoning on racial injustice, the centennial of the 19th Amendment, where black women were allies in that fight, but were not extended the same grace and access to the ballot until 55 years ago. To have the first child of immigrants, the first black, the first AAPI, the first historically black college universities, vice president for our country is powerful, in many ways surreal, but I think it honors the labor of the black women who came before her and the role that black women have played on the ballot, but at the ballot box as the most reliably voting constituency for the Democratic Party. So I feel proud, I feel hopeful, and I believe that her lived experiences will directly shape and inform the policies that come out of this administration. And that's what I'm most excited and looking forward to.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi.
Back from the World Wars. Veterans that came back from the World Wars were the backbone of that work that culminated in the 50s and getting our civil rights legislation to actually get traction.
Thank you for tonight. Thank you for being here. Good to see you. Thank you, everyone. Hi, Are you trying to give me your cell phones? I'll go in and watch it. I'll take a picture.
I think they are speaking in the
I thought you were giving them to me. I said, I can't take these. Good to see you all. Nice to meet you.
What's going on, man? How you been? Hanging in there.
She ain't speak to me. I spoke to her twice. She ain't say nothing to me.
She say under you?
She very white and privileged. You know?
Well, she did say, she did acknowledge me. She said hi.
She gave us a nod.
Yeah, she gave me the acknowledgement that I was here.
I'm at the reminder tape. I ain't seen nothing.
Oh, man.
That's what I'm going to do with this.
I think you got 2 weeks worth.
So let's see, you're going to have some public affairs shows. You can do, I don't give a shit what you do.
My desk is next
That's
to
why I'm with the number one city.
My desk is next to
Yeah, I'm going to take a walk around, get some footage before I get up out of here, get a little bit of footage of what's going on. Get the resistance over there. He's in the house. Gonna take a quick walk around.
Thank you very much.
Because I'm as soon as the Deb Holland. She'll be fine.
What was it?
I'll just explain my name.
We're all very okay with that.
Yeah, come on. We just elected 6 more new Indigenous members to Congress.
I love it. Yeah.
I got that space down.
Thank you so much.
I was still smiling. We are still smiling. That's my heart.
Jim Evans from Congress,
Yes.
President. On the 19th, we're doing a rolling rally.
Okay. About the cuts?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to do a answer pass to the State House and back to the train.
Okay. I might be in DC for votes, okay? Is that a weekend or during the week?
19th is,
During the week.
yes.
So I might be in votes, okay? And if I'm here, of course I'll come.
So,
If you'll have me.
yeah, of course. I'm with the coalition. We're all going to be there, but I just want to make sure you guys come.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Right, 10 a.m. Okay. 10 a.m. State semi-final.
Okay. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you.
What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you.
We of course backed up business cards to you. But yeah, so that's Executive Director McCall, that's Vice President Mia, and then Director yeah, and then I'm basically an assistant. Basically an assistant.
I told
whatever they need.
the guy you said hi. The guy from the North American Association.
I was literally admiring you.
Yeah, he's down here.
Yes, please. That's
I told him that Alexis here said to tell you hi. He said he's like, we look forward to working with you guys next year.
Thank you so much.
Your phone's breaking up a little bit too. I think you're yelling into the phone.
If I send you first,
Alright.
Yeah, I just got her.
A watermark for me?
not my style.
Wait, I can get you another.
Yourself out there a little bit.
Not my style. Yeah.
I didn't say it was your style. I'm saying words in a native way. Yes,
Oh, did you know Julian?
So you were telling me that
Yes, I like the photo.
Canadian,
Thank you again. Of course, thank you.
What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you, my man. How you doing? All right. Oh. Yeah. It's all good. It's good. I don't know who. I'm not too sure. At least you get an escort. Probably so. Since you're going to DC like the next couple of weeks. It's a good turnout though, not bad.
How are you, sir?
Oh, there you go. I love her. She's a positive woman, and she's very powerful and positive. All right, man, you be safe out there. I'll probably see you at the next protest.
They are happy if we help them.
No, I'm actually going this way, actually. Where you gotta go to?
I was going to grab the I'm going to grab
Oh, okay.
I don't know where I'm going to go.
All right. Take care, Karen. Have a good one.
Missed by much.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, everybody's just about leaving up out of here. It's going to give you a little bit more footage. I'm going to wrap this up. And so they want to keep this E Line train running instead of cutting the services. And I don't know who makes the decisions, but they're making the wrong decisions. And Charlie Baker needs to step up on this game and make things right. So far, he's been like an absentee governor. He hasn't done anything positive for this community that I know of anyway. How you doing? Alright. Now, I don't know if you guys remember the trolley used to continue down South Huntington all the way to Center Street. And I believe it went all the way down Center Street to Forest Hills. Now we're going back some time. We're going about at least over 30 years ago. The transit authority cut that service, and they promised the neighborhood that they were going to rebuild that or service or improve it. And about 30 years later, they have yet to do so. So when they were saying that when they cut services, they never restore them, they're absolutely right. They cut them and they never restore them. Same with the Orange Line that ran down Washington Street.